Denial. Denial revealed in the best spiritual TV show in the world, Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. Let me tell you why. Hello, this is Chris speaking, Shores of Infinity, with a video about the spiritual path and denial. On the spiritual path, a lot of people struggle with denial. And even more so than it's really difficult to give feedback on a spiritual path. Spiritual paths are individual. And from the outside, it's almost impossible to say where someone is. Almost impossible. It is possible. But what I've seen during the last years, and also looking back further, a lot of people overestimate where they are. They had a few amazing experiences. They know they are more awake than the average public. And then people already think, okay, that must be it, kind of. But it's not. It's not about single occurrences. It's about an ongoing show. If you're not awake ongoingly, if you don't have these experiences all the time without break, you're still in the very beginning of the whole thing, which is nothing people want to hear. Everyone wants to have a pat on the back and says, okay, you're doing very well. You've been meditating for 20 years now or so, and well done. But if you actually tell people where they are and where they are stuck, some of them get really defensive and really pissed off. Now, recently, my favorite TV show is Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. That's not new. You can watch it for free on YouTube. Most old episodes. And here you can see exactly what's wrong in the spiritual world as well. You have a kitchen, a restaurant, that is not running well. That is a few steps away from bankruptcy, or already bankrupt and running on debt. Up to $500,000 sometimes. Then they invite Gordon Ramsay, a famous English chef, to tell them what the problem is and get the restaurant up to speed. But usually the owners and the chef, sometimes those are the same, are completely shocked that he finds fault with the food or the service or the overall organization, the hygiene, whatever. The communication, for example, often sucks. And the restaurants are usually led by oblivious owners with little previous experience. To run a restaurant is very tough. It's a service-oriented business, and it's not enough to just like people or like food and drink, be interested in it, having it been a hobby for a long time. It's not enough to be able to cook. You have to do all kinds of things. You have to have managerial skills, people skills, cooking skills, communication skills, service skills, and so on. And everything has to work together very well. Like in any other business, basically. It's just the example of restaurants. And Gordon Ramsay is very frank, very brutally honest. And everyone says, even people who like the show, oh, he's an asshole. No, he's not. He's very, very straight with people. The style Gordon Ramsay shows on the shows is very similar to UG style, Jed McKenna style, Nisargadatta Maharaj style, and some other more tough gurus. Watch it and you'll see what I mean. I think it's the most spiritual show ever. Of course, there's nothing spiritual about it, but the principle applies 100% to the spiritual path. Only that there are very few Gordon Ramsays around in the spiritual world. And no TV show, of course. Because you are your own restaurant in that regard, yeah? You don't have any staff. You're the manager, you're the chef. You're the kitchen staff, you're the floor staff, you're the owner, everything. So it's even more difficult to manage everything on the spiritual path than in a restaurant. And in a restaurant, it often goes wrong. So many restaurants, they close after a few months or years. In these restaurants, often the food is crap. It has been good some time ago, but for a long time, not anymore. And now it's just crap. If you serve people crap, they probably won't come back, and then your restaurant is empty. And the owners are so much in denial, it's amazing. It's truly, truly gobsmacking and astounding. And you have to watch that to see how much people can be in denial. A part of them is knowing that they're wrong. And another part of them is defending what they're doing and not wanting to change anything, even if it's not working. And this is a very similar theme. I know so many people who follow, Tibetan Buddhism or Sahaj Marg or any other kind of tradition or guru or method. And then after 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, doesn't matter, they're still doing the same, it still doesn't work, but they think they came along a long way because they have been doing it for such a long time, so it must yield results. It must have yielded results. And they look back and say, oh, looking back, so much has changed. Yeah, what exactly? You're stuck. You're stuck and you don't know why, and many people don't want to know why. And they get defensive and upset if they get a real criticism. They take it really personally. Like, of course, it's the same like an artist or a chef. What he creates and produces is very personal. But how can you get personal about the spiritual path? That's really, really strange. Because the spiritual path is not about taking things personal anymore. It's about depersonalizing things. About seeing what is behind the ego, the person, the persona. What is behind it. Now, in Gordon Ramsay's show, he fixes everything. He fixes the communication, he fixes the menu, the way it's going in the restaurant, how the tables are cared for, the way it's going in the kitchen, the overall management, the attitude of the chef, the attitude of the owner, the attitude of the waiters, and so on. Maybe the interior or exterior of the restaurant. That's something you can fix relatively easily if you have the knack for it, if you know what you're doing. This is much more difficult on the spiritual path because everything is interior. There's nothing exterior, and then there's no team. So, first of all, it's very good to get to know your different aspects. Your team is inside of you, different parts of your personality, or different personalities. Those are your team. So first you have to get to know them. Then you have to start communicating. And then you have to be brutally honest with yourself. And own up to your mistakes. For example, if you have been following a certain tradition or method for many years or even decades, and you're not enlightened yet, leave that shit. It's not yours. Just leave it behind. It's not helping you. It's enabling you being stuck. Now, there's usually an enabler also in there. For example, there's a chef owner who thinks he's a great cook and does everything right, but he isn't. And there's a wife who enables him and who doesn't have the courage to tell him that he's fucking it up. Or is in denial herself. I don't know why this restaurant isn't running well. I can't imagine what's going wrong. And I never asked the customers, for example, what they thought. In one episode, the chef is not accepting any food returning. He tells his waiters and the customers to fuck off because he's so in love with himself and his dishes, he can't stand it if someone sends a steak back because it's too raw or too well done or something, or cold. But that's no way to run a restaurant. Just pampering your own ego. There are some chefs, of course, who do pamper their own ego, but they can really cook and they can really manage a restaurant. So then it doesn't show. But if you're not so good at one of the tasks, management, ordering, whatever, communication, nothing helps you. You have to change your ways. And it's the same again in the spiritual path. What doesn't work, change your ways. And be honest with yourself all the time where you are. Otherwise you can't tell what works and what doesn't work. Denial is really a big problem. So watch a few of those shows. If you like them, watch more. But if you don't like them, just watch 1, 2 or 3. And you will immediately see the similarities here. The amazing amount of denial that it could not be described better than in this show. If you didn't see it, you wouldn't believe it. So look with your own eyes and ears, watch it, and then compare it with your own path. Where are you? Where are you in denial? Where are you stuck? What exactly has been going right or has been going wrong the last years? If not, ask someone. But then really accept a truthful answer. You're surrounded by other people who are very advanced. Ask them what they think is holding you back. Anyone can be your coach, even your spiritual coach. Your husband, your wife, your children, your parents, your best friends, your colleagues. Just don't be stubborn and don't feel offended. Take it as a gift and really look inside. And have fun with it.